Education should be a path to self-discovery, growth, and critical thinking, but in China and much of Asia, it's become a system that pushes students to the brink, from AI cameras tracking their emotions to relentless testing and strict rules. Students are being controlled, not nurtured. This is not about hold up some script errors. To relentless testing and strict rules. Students are being controlled, not nurtured. This is not just about academics. It's about a generation of kids growing up under constant surveillance and pressure with little room to breathe or explore their true potential. In this video, we are going to explore how China and other parts of Asia's In this video, we're going to explore how China and other parts of Asia are pushing their education systems too far and why it's time for a change. Let's take a closer look at the current state of education in China. AI cameras track students' every move and how often they yawn, how engaged they are, even their emotional states. Teachers monitor everything, trying not to optimize learning. It's no longer about helping kids learn, it's about controlling their every action. And it's not just the cameras. Schools have implemented strict rules about posture and behavior. Schools have implemented strict rules about posture, behavior, and even when to speak. Students are expected to memorize vast amounts of information, leaving no room for creativity or independent thought. Every day feels like another test, another battle to meet impossible standards. But what is this doing to the students themselves? The pressure is crushing. Students face an overwhelming academic workload with little time for rest and exploration. Their lives are consumed by tests, and the constant need to perform at a high level creates a toxic cycle of stress and burnout. The mental toll is undeniable. In a system that values performance over well-being, students are pushed to their breaking point. Research shows that many Chinese students suffer from anxiety, depression, and burnout. Chinese students suffer from anxiety, depression, and burnout, and it's not just the students. Teachers are under the same pressure, trying to meet ever-increasing demands to deliver results. When education becomes about meeting impossible expectations, kids lose their ability to think critically, to ask questions, to dream. Instead, they're shaped by a system that rewards compliance over curiosity. It's time to ask, are we truly preparing students for the future? Or are we just preparing them to follow orders? There is a better way, a way that values both academic achievement and personal growth. Education systems around the world. There's a better way, a way that values both academic achievement and personal growth. There is a better way. There is a better way, the way that values both academic achievement and personal growth. Education systems around the world are beginning to recognize the importance of critical thinking. Education systems around the world are beginning to recognize the importance of critical thinking, creativity, and mental health. A look at Finland. Finnish schools emphasize creativity, collaboration, and well-being. While still maintaining strong academic standards, their students are encouraged to explore, think independently, and solve real-world problems. In contrast, Asia's education systems are still largely focused on memorization and standardized testing. The focus on conformity. In contrast, Asia's education systems are still largely focused on memorization and standardized thinking. The focus on conformity and perfection is causing harm, not helping students thrive. Students need more than just facts. They need to develop the ability to think critically, innovate, and work collaboratively. But we can change this. The key is to shift from a system that forces students into rigid molds to one that encourages growth, creativity, and individuality. The pressure to conform. But we can change this. The key is to shift from a system that forces students to rigid molds to one that encourages growth, creativity, and individuality. The pressure to conform. But we can change this. The key is to shift from a system that forces students into rigid molds to one that encourages growth, creativity, and individuality. The pressure to conform must give way to the freedom to explore and to fail. Technology can be a powerful tool in education, but when it's used to invade students' privacy and monitor every moment, it becomes part of a problem. It becomes part of the problem. AI cameras that track emotions, sensors that monitor brain waves. This constant surveillance creates a culture of control, not learning. We need to ask ourselves, what's the cost of this? If students are constantly being watched, how can they develop the trust and autonomy they need to grow? Education should be about fostering curiosity, not controlling behavior. Instead of surveilling students, let's focus on trusting them. Let's give them the freedom to make mistakes, to explore their interests, and to develop their unique skills. We have an opportunity to rethink education, not just in China, but across all of Asia. Let's shift from systems of control to systems that empower students. Let's promote creativity over conformity, mental health over stress, and independence over compliance. Education should prepare students for the future, not just for tests. We need a system that values innovation, mental health, and personal growth, not just grades and exams. It's time to give students the space to grow, to think for themselves, and to lead together. It's time to give students the space to grow, to think for themselves, and to lead together. We can create a future where education truly empowers the next generation. The education system in China and much of Asia is broken, but change is possible. It's time to rethink what education should be about. It's time to put students first and create a system that fosters their potential, not just their performance. Are we ready to create a better future for our children? Share this video. Let's start the conversation about a better way forward in education.